Alright guys, welcome back. Alright, so today I'm going to be showing you how to research easily for all your crafting needs. So something important that you're going to getting is going to be for woodworking carpentry. So what it does is when you have all 4 points into it, it reduces research times by 25%. But the important thing is that it limits research time to 30 days. Now, as you research more and more traits on your items, let me just run over to woodworking. So you'll see that there's 9 traits. As you get further and further down in the traits, you'll see that they take longer and longer to research. If you do not have the points where it limits it to 30 days, whenever you're going for your last trait, it's going to be like 46 days that you have to wait. So just for example, let me find one that's going on. So right here, you can see that I'm researching training for medium boots, and I have 19 days left on that. So 19 days, 13 days, and 7 days. So within next week I'll be able to do something again into clothing. Now, the reason why I'm making this video is that when I go to blacksmithing, you can see that I have 0 to 3 being researched. So I just wanted to show you an easy way to get the traits that you're going to be looking for. So I believe, yeah, I have all the armor done. So when I go over to weapons, you'll see that I have some that say unknown, and so I can use this as my greatsword, so decisive. Now if I was to do this on the greatsword, it'll take 27 days. If I didn't have the thing where it limits it to 27 or to 30 days, it'd be like 46 days or something ridiculous to that. So it's really important that you get the skill points into researching, especially if you want to make a crafting character. And then I'll show you how I go about getting the items. For jewelry crafting, you can get the rings from trials and stuff like that, but it's easier just to use this system. Alright, so what we're going to do, we're going to pick 3 things that I'm looking for. You'll notice that some traits are, see how there's training. That'll usually give increased experience gain from kills. So like people, when they're making new characters, a lot of them will use this. So you'll find that training is kind of usually expensive, between like 15 to 30 to 60k depending on the piece. And also Nirnholds or Nirnholds, that usually goes for about 15k as well or so. So looks like we need the one-handed axe for training, the one-handed mace for training, and one-handed sword for training. So let's get these training sets out of the way, and we'll see if we can find any that are kind of affordable. So you're going to start off by going, I usually come to Mernhold in Deshawn. It's one of the top cities for the guild traders. And there's going to be guild traders that go all the way around just the way shrine, and then there's a nice place right here. So let's see if we can find anything nice and cheap. So what we're going to do is you go down to the category when you're in the guild trader. You're going to click on weapons, all weapons. So I need a one-handed axe, mace, or dagger. So, or no, axe, mace, or sword. So let's just start with the mace. We're going to go down to the traits, and I need training. So now once I have those in, I'm just going to hit square, see what it finds. Even though I have 1,000,000 gold, I'm a new millionaire, so I want to get things as cheap as possible. Okay, there we go. So Mace of the Swift. So you can see how it has training on the right hand side. So that's what we want to be able to research. But it's going for 49 grand right now, so we don't want to spend that. So we are just gonna run around. We'll run to the next one, see if we can get something cheap. So 15k, that's not bad. So we're just going to do this. So right now we're at 15 grand. So we're just going to keep running around, see if there's anything cheaper. 20 grand, 100 grand. Let's see here. How to get up to talk to me? That's fine. Well, it's not looking good for us. Looks like 15 grand is gonna be the way to go. Nothing, eh? Oh, there we go. 8 grand. So I'm just gonna hop on and buy that. Okay, so we got the mace. Now, also a thing that I should point out, when you buy things from the Guild Trader, sometimes it won't appear in your mail right away. And some people like log out, but all you have to do is just run outside of town, and then you can take the way shrine back in, and that'll count as a loading screen. But if I was to be right here and just travel to the way shrine, just like, you know, just if I was to just hit X and travel, it won't actually like do a load screen. It'll just pull me forward, so that doesn't count as a loading screen. That's why I usually run out of town and then teleport in. So we got the mace. Okay, so that's good. So let's see what we can get for the sword. I think that's going to be a little bit more expensive. So one-handed sword. So let's see what we find here. So we got lots of options. So we're at 15 grand right there. So let's see if you can find anything cheaper. 11 grand. But you'll notice that some people, like, they'll just throw in like level 10 items that has the trait, and they'll just throw it in for like 3 grand or so. So 10 grand. I'm shooting for anything under 10 grand. That's where I draw my line. Look at that, Spriggan sword. So that has the training trait, and it's 3 grand. So we're just gonna scoop that right up. Okay. And so we got the mace, we got the sword. Let's get an axe. So let's see if we can find anything here. She doesn't look too happy, eh, that little merchant. Okay, so 20 grand. Just gonna keep running around in the circle here. $50 grand. $14 grand. Come on, we can do better than that. Just give me something cheap. Give me something cheap. Oh, the suspense. What? There we go. 14 grand. Well, looks like we might be having to spend a little bit of cash for this last one. Oh, look at that. 7 grand. Thanks. Okay, so now I'm just gonna run out of town here. And you can see how oh, well, that was a poor example, eh? Okay, so sometimes they come in right away, just for sake of the video. So if those weren't there, then all you'd have to do is come out of the town and then travel back in to the way shrine. Okay, so now that you have these items here, so we're just going to take these out of the mailbox here. Come back to the blacksmithing station. Research. Look at that. Get these out of the way here. So 10 days, that's not bad. Seems like a long time, but once you forget about it for a while and then you come back and check on it, you gradually make your way. So whenever I make a new character, I start doing this from day one that I have the character. I think I read somewhere that it takes a year to get them all, but I could be wrong about that, so don't quote me on that. I know it does take a really long time. Like especially when you're going for the last one, and it's you have to wait like 36 days or 26 days. You know, like before it's like 46 days, and I'm like, oh my god. And then I put the last point into the skill for the crafting. Let's see here. So for woodworking, there's carpentry right here, clothing, you got stitching, and blacksmithing, metallurgy. I don't know how to say that word. I looked at it, I'm like, huh, that's not going to happen. So that's pretty much it. So if you're going to be a crafter, you want to get started on that as early as possible. Also, if you get everything researched, you can get a title being a master crafter, but I think everyone's usually after the Grand Master Crafter. Oh, one thing to point out here. Let me go over to the jewelry crafting station here. So I don't want to give you wrong information. So when you go to your jewelry crafting, even if you have all your points put into research, you can only research one trade at a time. So it's either going to be the necklace or the ring. And I think you start off with the first, I don't know, I'm going to go ahead and say the first three would be 3 or 4. Maybe the first 3. You'd have to check with that. Either way, but to find these, to research them, honestly the best bet to do them is just go to a guild trader, go to jewelry, pick one of these traits and just start on that right away, because you might as well start that from the very beginning, because you're like ultimately you're only able to research one thing at a time. But see, the thing is that everybody keeps waiting for these to drop, like when you're doing world bosses or delves or anything like that. But I think they come from trials. I personally have only seen like Infused and maybe Swift, I think, and Bloodthirsty. But the other ones, just buy them from the guild trader. I think people usually put research amulets in for like about 15 to 20 grand. But we're getting there. And so yeah, that's going to be your best way to go ahead and do researching. So once again, you just open your guild trader, you pick whatever trait you're looking for, whether it be like weapons or armor, jewelry. You want to start on that right away. You go down to, you pick your weapon, if it's going to be one-handed. Say we needed, let's say we needed infused. So right there it'd be 10 grand, but never buy the first one. Like you want to kind of shop around a little bit, and because a lot of people throw in like the lower level items, so they'll put it in for like 3 grand or so like that. So just if we jump around, 20 grand, and you just keep it in the, like the back of your mind, being like, okay, a couple of people back, there's one for 10 grand, you know. But as you saw, we just did the blacksmithing. We're gonna have to wait 10 days, which is really not that bad when you have to think about it. You just want to make sure that you have your points in, or else you're gonna be stuck waiting like 46 days for like whenever you're going for the 9th trait. So because this will limit it to 30 days, so it'd only be like 26 days whenever you're doing the last one. So that's a difference of like 14 days. So you want to be able to jump on that. Either way, so we don't really need infused right now, but you guys get the point. And let's say for jewelry, so what you do is you go all items, you go to jewelry, you pick your piece if it's going to be a neck or a ring. And let's say we needed, let's stick with the infused. Oh, look at that! They've really knocked down that that market, eh? Just okay. So you know it's really easy to research jewelry. Let's just see. That seems kind of cheap. Triune. Yeah. So it's always important to look at the traits. A lot of people like look for like training or divine or Narenhorn. Like, you know, if you get those items, you can just sell those on the side. You know, like something that you think isn't really going to be worth anything. Maybe someone's jumping around looking for just that trait, right? Alright guys, well I hope this video helps you, and I hope you have a good night.